Welcome students, this is Mrs. Nguyen, your Library Media Specialist. I've prepared this video for you to get you familiar with some of the resources and features you have at CCA as a new student. You want to start with the ccaeagles.org website. This is our school website, and you want to check here for things that are happening in all the different subjects and keep you updated. One of the most important links for you will be the Haiku LMS, that's Learning Management System. That's where you're going to find your grades and your assignments. So you can find the link right on that home page every time. So I'm going to go ahead and go over your login information. By clicking there, you can see you're always sign in on this side with students, and you can see you have a choice, and you always want to make sure you are picking student.ccaeagles.org. That is a Google Apps for Education account. You get that automatically as a CCA student, so you want to make sure you are signing in where you see the Google G. I'm going to choose my daughter's account just as a student to show you as an example. Your username is usually your first initial, whole last name. Sometimes if you have a brother or sister with the same initial, you might have two initials, like you see Kinsey is KI. You can always double check with us in the library to make sure what your username is, and then the whole convention is at student.ccaeagles.org. You are going to log in for the first time with Eagles 1415, and then it's going to ask you to change your password for the year. It has to be at least 8 characters, but then that password will stay for the whole entire year. So as you log in here, I'm going to go over some of the features of the home page. Most importantly, you want to check your classes first and make sure that everything is listed correctly. Make sure you have all 8 classes here. They do come up alphabetically. You don't have a choice in the way they're listed. The only classes you would not notice a class for would be teacher assistant or if you have a study hall. Other than that, double check your classes, make sure they're listed correctly. You have a classes tab, and then also I want to show you that you have this extras tab. If you click on that, you'll notice this is where the Secondary Library Media Center is. So all the resources that you would have available to you through the library is there as well. There's a little announcement, so know that you always have that. One important thing you might want to know is that we do exchange books. So if you have some books, you can either borrow if you don't have anything to exchange, but the next time you have a required reading, you can check in the library before you buy your next book. So that is where the library is on the Extras tab. I also want to show you the calendar here on the front page. This calendar includes all your classes. You just want to make sure, for one thing, that all your classes are checked here on the left. If you don't see a check, that means it's not showing on the calendar. And you can see it's color-coded. You have a choice. You can change those colors by clicking on the drop down here on the little caret where it has options, and you can change those colors if you'd like. So the color will code, and it also gives it like a 2-digit for creative writing. It's CW. So you can click on the calendar on any date, and it will jump to that date, and it will give you whether it's a homework or an assignment or maybe a discussion, something that's due at that time. So that's very convenient. Also, if you'd like to print it or you like the list view, you can look here with that little printer icon, and there you can see a list view. If you'd like to print it out, put it in your agenda or on your refrigerator, you have that option. If you scroll down on the right-hand side, this is where you'll find your grade summary, and you'll have a grade book for each class. These are your averages. And then on the bottom, you will see your most recent grade. So that's the home page, and that's just a little bit of an overview of what you can find there. If you are in 5th or 8th or 12th grade, you can see me individually, or Mrs. Ellis will be your point person for your e-portfolio, and we can talk more about that. But if you're not 5th or 8th or 12th, you don't need to use that yet. Another thing you can look and see about navigating inside Haiku, there's always more than one way to do things. You can change your classes here, you can navigate back and forth, or at the bottom you see a classes here as well. So almost always there's more than one way to do something in Haiku. Another thing I want to point out while we're on this home page is under your little, yours will look like a little tree if you haven't updated your profile yet. But under here you do have a profile that you can change your little picture there. You can also set your notifications, and that's very important. That's for how your teacher is sending information to you, how you're getting emails from school. You can tell it how you want to receive information. Do you want just a daily email? Do you want to know instantly when your teacher updates something? Or do you want an SMS, which of course is a text message? Not everyone has a choice for a text message, but if there's a little box, you can check it. But you have to come up here, and you would have to add your cell phone number. And then it will send you a text, and it will give you a little confirmation code that you can add there. There's all different choices down here. One thing that we are recommending is that everyone has a daily email of the update to the content. That's like a summary. So once a day, at least you can get a summary what's new in each of your classes. So that's recommended. And if you find you're getting too many emails, you can change your notifications there. Or if you're not getting enough, you can change them there. All right, so inside a class, let's go back to our home page. And I'll show you just a little bit about navigating classes. I'll just choose the first one here. Every teacher may set up their Haiku just a little differently. So the home pages are all going to look a little different. You might have upcoming activities and assignments, or you might have different blocks depending on the teacher's personality. But the great thing about Haiku is that these menu bars up here do not change. So every class there's a Pages tab, and then you'll see how many pages each class has. There's a Calendar tab, and this will be just for the subject you're in. So this will show you only for this class, Bible, only the Bible assignments. Under Connect is where you'll see these items. Dropbox is where you're going to turn something in online, and your teacher can talk about some of these other items. And then under Assess, of course, is where you're going to find your assignments. That might be what you use the most, or also your grades are there. So those are the tabs, and that's how each of the classes work. All right, so back to your home page. One important thing I want to show you for Calvary Christian Academy is that because we're a Google Apps for Education school, we have a link right here to our Gmail. So by clicking on that G at the top, that's going to take you directly to what's called your Google Drive. And you want to be careful if you share computers and make sure, yes, you're continuing to your drive, because you might have a choice there if someone else is logged into that computer if you share. So this is going to take me right to Kinsey's, what's called the Google Drive. If you're not familiar with it, it's just a virtual drive. It lives online. Everything that you make stays online, and you have web access to it. So whether you're logged in at school or you're logged in at home, you have access to all your files. You don't have to worry about saving them. Google Drive is an auto-save. You don't have to worry about not having access to it because you lost it or you saved it at school or you lost your jump drive. It's a great feature for being a student at CCA. Now here you can see in the drive that you can see the different icons. These are all Google Docs, but then you see, what's this? This is a Word document. You have a choice because you can either create something new or you can upload. So even if you choose to continue to use Word, or you might need something, another kind of file, you can upload it to your drive and still have access it to wherever you go. This is the new drive, so if yours looks a little differently, I just want to show you under the settings that you have a choice to experience the new drive, because Google Drive has just gone through an update, so your desktop may look a little different. So you have a choice inside the drive. You can create things like a Google Doc, which would be the same as a word processing Word, Google Sheets, which is similar to Excel, Google Slides, which would be similar to PowerPoint, and then Google Forms is a survey, and Google Drawings. So those are the most frequently used. Of course, Documents would be the most used, I would think, for school projects, and then Google Slides. So even if your teacher says you have to do a PowerPoint, she doesn't necessarily mean it has to be Microsoft Office. She means it's a slideshow, so yes, you can go ahead and use your Google Slides. I want to show you how to navigate to your Gmail. Right here is where the little applications, little grid is, and this way you can go to your mail. And mail is available for all students in 8th grade and above. So this is where your teachers would email you. This is where you'd be getting your notifications at your student email address. And you can see, because my daughter's in 7th grade, she doesn't have very much because the email is not active. But this is very important for you, because when you're accessing things and when your teachers are sending reminders, you want to check your mail once a day. And also, if you are looking at a document or you're opening a document and it says you don't have access to it, go ahead and check and see, am I in my student account? Because if you're in a personal Gmail account, you're not going to have access to everything your teacher is sharing with you. So even if you do have a personal Gmail, you want to make sure you are using your student.ccaeagles.org account for everything school related. So going back to your drive here, I'm just going to show you a little bit about creating a new document. So if I want to make a new Google Doc, just going to open it just to show you a little bit, and you can see how similar it is to Microsoft Word. A lot of your menu bars are going to look the same. Right here you can title your document. Titling is very important because you're going to end up with a bunch of untitled documents if you don't take care and title your papers first. This is a little shortcut back to your Documents home, so I'll show you that. And you notice there's no save button. I didn't save anything, but the minute I start to create it, it stays in my drive. automatically and forever until I delete it. So there it is. I just made this one, Title Me, and you can see some other ones if I want to navigate back and forth. Another thing you want to explore when you're on Google Docs is these add-ons. And this is all different kind of apps, kind of enhancements to Google Docs. I know a lot of the ones that the kids are using now, there's one called Bible Verse. If you search for it, it's going to say that you can add it. It's free. All these add-ons are free. And once you hit free, it's going to ask you to accept it. You're giving it permission to be added to your Google Docs. And what it is just a shortcut to searching the Bible. So instead of having to go out to Google, I can just go to my add-ons. I can open the Bible here. And if my teachers ask me to do a biblical reference, I can search it here, and I can click it and it will add it right to my document. So I can search the Bible here. Another add-on that has been really helpful for foreign language students is called Translate. It's just Google Translate. But instead of having to go out again and open another window, you can search right inside your document and you can use it. So once you've added an add-on to your Google Docs, it stays there forever. And if you're ever looking for it, you just go up under add-ons. So that's one feature I wanted to point out to you about Google Docs. Another one is that you can research right inside Google Docs by going to your tools bar and hitting research. And again, here it just brings up automatically a Google search. So if you were looking for something and you're doing a paper, you could search it right here. You can even search Google Scholar to make sure that you're getting scholarly articles and things that are recommended and read by educators. So you have that research tool right inside Google Docs. So those are all reasons that we recommend that you use Google Docs. And also because it stays right inside your drive and you don't have to worry about losing your work. Now the last thing I want to show you is how to turn something in on Haiku. So if your teacher gives you an assignment and they say, well, you need to turn it in on Haiku, we're going to go here to the English class. And if a teacher tells you your assignment has to be turned in online, it will have a drop box. And that's where you turn something in online. So when you go here, there's always going to be a hand-in button rather. And you have 4 choices to hand something in on Haiku. It does not have to be through Google, but there's your Google Drive. You can write a short answer there, and you have all your word processing features. You can choose a file from anywhere on your computer. So again, if you're using Microsoft Office, that is fine, or if you've saved an image or something on your computer, you can upload it there. You can drag files here, or you can attach right from your Google Drive. Once you click on that, you'll see right here, Title Me, and everything else that you've created in your drive. Or you can search for it there and you can choose it. Make sure when you choose it, you say read only. It'll give you a choice, and done. And last thing, make sure you click hand in. If you don't click hand in, guess what? It's not handed in. Then you can double check, did I hand it in? It will have a number. If your teacher writes back to you, there will actually be a reply, and your teacher can actually give your assignment back. Let's look at this one. If your teacher gives it back with notes, you can open it up and you can actually see the comments from your teacher. So that's just a quick way and a quick overview of how we use Google Docs and Haiku at CCA. Here you can see is where a teacher made a note back to my daughter. If you are using Google Chrome, you'll notice this comment does not show, but if you search PDF Zen, that's Z-E-N, that will allow you to see comments in Google Chrome because I'm using Chrome. If you use Safari, it will download automatically for you. So again, those are just quick features of Haiku and Google. Remember, you always have your link right here inside your Haiku account. And if you have more questions, you can always stop by the library. We're open 7:30 to 4:30 daily, and I look forward to serving you.